Hi, Dr. Mendenall here, and I would like to go over comparing weight. Weight of something can be a solid or it can be a liquid. So we can have the weight of the crackers here. It even gives us what the total weight is in ounces, right? That's mass. Or we could do it with liquid, which is capacity. Like this probably weighs more than this does. And then if we check the numbers on the containers, we can see for real it does. So this would make that seesaw go doop if it was on this side, because this weighs more than this does. We use measurement for liquids and solids so that we can do recipes, know how much we want to buy, compare prices, that kind of thing. We don't want to buy something that we don't need the whole container of, right? If I only need a little bit of juice, I don't need to buy the whole big one. I could have bought the smaller one. All right, so that's comparing weight. This is page 509. We're in chapter 8, we're in lesson 4. And they want you to find 2 different objects in the classroom, just like I found my 2 ones here at home. So go find 2 things at home and tell which one is heavier and which one is lighter. Your heavier one, you draw over on the right. I'm going to use this dark blue here. So this is my heavier juice container. All right, this is supposed to be a cap. You know me in drawing. Okay, and this over here is this little white bottle here. I'll just use black for that. And this is my little tiny bottle over here. So I'm showing with my picture that this juice bottle weighed more than this little tiny bottle right here. Could also do it with other objects, right? What things do you see around your house that you could draw a picture of, one being heavy on this side and one being lighter on that side? Find something, draw your picture, and then let's get back to it. So pause me now, go find your things, and draw your awesome picture. So hopefully you paused and you found 2 things in your house, one heavier than the other, and you drew it on page 509. All right, so on 510, let's look through our vocabulary here. Let me get out my pen so I can point. Okay. We're doing weight still, right? We're doing measurement. We're doing weight, how much something weighs, and some things will be heavier, and some things will be lighter, lighter, heavier, and lighter. And we use heavy and light, but when we're comparing the things, we put the on the end. This really is heavy. It's easier to pick up with 2 hands, but when I'm comparing it with something, I don't just say it's heavy. I say it is heavier than this one. So this one is heavier. This one is lighter. If I'm just talking about one thing, I don't need the I can say this is light. But if I want to compare it with something, this paper clip, this is lighter. See my paper clip? It's lighter than this is. So as soon as I'm talking about 2 things, I need my in there, okay? So we're going to use heavier, lighter. All right, so here's a balance scale, which you've seen me have in class. And if I were to put the shoe in this side here, and if I were to put the pencil over here, which one would be heavier? The shoe. I get to use the shoe this time. And which one is lighter? The pencil. So I can use comparison, okay? Now, if it's lighter, it goes up here on the one that's higher up, right? Like the seesaw. And if it's heavier, it's on the lower one. Okay, so we're looking at number 2. Number 2 says, compare the objects, circle the heavier object, and put your X to the lighter one. It's going to be the same thing for 3. It looks like we're comparing this computer with this mouse, right? With this little tiny remote. Not the squeaky kind of mouse, but a mouse here. All right, and I have to cross out the lighter one. Which one is lighter, the computer or the mouse? Okay, we'll cross that out. And we circle the heavier one. Okay, so now we have a helmet and bicycle. That sounds fun. I hope you're getting some time outside where you do something like this. Which one is heavier? Heavier. And which one is lighter? Okay. All right, so you on your own need to do 4, 5, and 6. But this top one, remember, you're drawing what's supposed to be heavier is going to go to the lower bucket. And what is lighter is going to go in this top bucket. Then you're going to do the crossing out of the one that's lighter and the circling of the one that's heavier. And remember, when we have found that things are the same, that's when we underline, right, to show they're the same. So do 4, 5, and 6, and then we'll keep going. So we're back. This is page 512. We're going to do some problem solving here. We have a whole bunch of objects. I'm trying to decide for myself which ones are lighter and which ones are heavier. I'm thinking most of these are things that I have around the house or I've seen before. And I don't think they're supposed to be toys. They all look like they're pictures of real things, right? Okay. It says in the directions for this problem number 7, draw an X on items that are too heavy to lift. Circle the items that are light enough to carry. So if this were a real elephant, could you lift this? Okay, you're supposed to put an X on things that are too heavy to lift. So for me, I'm going to get my pen out here. I think an elephant is way too heavy for me to lift. All right, you finish marking yours, and then you're going to unpause me and we'll move on. Okay, 2 pages to go with your homework pages, 513 and 514. It says in the directions that you are comparing the objects still. We're comparing them for weight, right? And you're drawing an X on the lighter one, circle around the heavier one, just like this example. So please do 513 and 514 on your own. And we'll see you next time.